guys, welcome back into my channel and welcome to Aries season. In this video, I'll be taking you through the April energy update of channeled messages. And this season, we have the energy of the zodiac sign Aries, which is known to be optimistic, kind, energetic, at times impulsive, curious, and innocent. And this fire sign is rooted in sort of the more creative, independent nature and a free spirit of flames. So they are calm and steady for the most part and can keep us warm, but if we aren't careful, they may blaze and catch a little fire. And then the second half of April brings the zodiac sign Taurus, which is an earth sign, super grounded, hardworking, patient, analytical, and resilient. So there's a mix this month between calming earth, grounding, foundational energy with a more fiery, creative spark and bursts of newness. So hopefully striking a healthy balance for us all as we enter into April. Newness and meticulous observation are coming in strongly. So it's like you're much more aware in general of your body and mind and what is impacting it. So the messages were coming in at lightning speeds, and I tried to just cool it down to share what I felt most compelled to. There is a lot of energy coming in this month. It's really huge, so get ready. The first thing that came up was actually a visual of the Nine of Swords card in the tarot. And I do tarot, so often if I get messages, it comes through in that form. But it's a figure standing there with nine swords sort of putting a stake in the ground. And I sort of perceive this as stepping into your power in a more profound way this month. And it's not like merely about asserting yourself, but more about recognizing your inherent worth on a much deeper level than you ever have before. And I sense that you're finally prepared in some way to express a truth or to take action and to sort of really stand up for what it is that you believe in. And I think mostly what you believe in is your evolved self today, and you've changed a lot. You've been on this self-discovery and healing journey, so it's going to be a lot different than it would have been last year. But it's akin to a tree root firmly planted into the earth's foundation, like from the crown and tip of your head all the way down through your toes. And it's about boldly making choices that align with your values and how you want to live your life moving forward. And I think it's almost like there's a layer that's been shed off or sloughed off, and somehow through life and through the work that you've done on yourself, you're so much more confident to express who you are. And this even comes down into like the mundane daily tasks, or like, for example, if you're in a dating scenario, instead of deferring to the other person's choice of a restaurant, all of a sudden you're suggesting a place that you've been craving, and like how, you know, there's this self-assurance of what you actually want. And there's always a light that can somehow get dimmed within us where we don't really operate at our full potential due to a myriad of masks that we wear, unfortunately, to hide or to sort of stand behind in a way, to allow for that vulnerability to not even be in the equation. So I feel like this is you kind of breaking out with your armor and really standing behind what it is that you are doing. And again, it can be in your life on a daily basis, or, you know, just maybe you're taking a bold stance in the way that you're expressing yourself in the world. I also get that this could come in the form of like how you're presenting yourself in the physical with what you're wearing and how you're styling your hair, or maybe you're getting a new tattoo. I'm getting something where you're just kind of like, here I am. I'm so proud of what I've done, and I'm showing the world my most authentic self. And as we know, that's constantly an evolution. So moving on to the second message that came through, this, you guys, is it kind of gives me the chills, honestly. It's a tower moment. There's big changes that are here, and the big eclipse, the solar eclipse, is on April 8th this year, and I'm hoping to talk more about an eclipse video at another time, but you can't avoid them. And this signifies like a pivotal moment in your life path, and it's going to be marked by something significant and transformative. And these kind of changes can manifest in so many different forms, right? Like maybe it's something visceral, like quitting smoking or adopting a vegan lifestyle or deciding to just stop drinking alcohol altogether. Or, on an emotional level, you may find yourself distancing from environments or relationships or people or experiences that no longer resonate with where you're at. And it's about saying no to obligations that no longer serve you and embracing decisions that really align with your true self. Whether it's, quitting a job or relocating to a new city, or maybe just embarking on a passion project where you're ready to stand behind, a new path. But this energy heralds profound shifts that will impact your daily existence, and it's going to serve as a cornerstone of new beginnings. So as anything comes with energy, right? It's a sliding scale. So there's a big spectrum. Some of you may feel a really big tower moment, like, wow, something happened. There was a reduction in workforce and I'm now in a different place looking for work. Or maybe I got a promotion and they've offered me to move to New York City and that requires me to relocate. There may be some really, really big challenges. And with those challenges, what I mean by it is it's going to require a change. And we're human beings and change can be difficult. But I think what I'm getting is that these are going to be really good. It's something that we can't change or avoid, but I think it's for your best and highest good. So I'm excited. It's important for us to trust, to really, really trust on a foundational level that the changes are really coming because they're steering you in a new direction, and they will absolutely require patience and courage. And your intuition may have been guiding you towards some of these shifts for years, nudging you to step into more of an aligned path. But remember, your well-being and happiness are absolutely paramount. Surround yourself with supportive, unconditional love from those who genuinely cheer you on and uplift your spirit. If you find yourself lacking this support network, it's a real opportune time to seek out new communities and connections that actually speak to where you're at right now. As a personal note, I've experienced the power of community and mindful connections so much firsthand in these last few years after moving to San Diego. And by, simply immersing myself in a restorative yoga class, I've forged some really wonderful connections and discovered some new modalities that I'm hoping to share on the channel around self-healing and growth, specifically sound healing. And I guess my point is just to trust in the journey and embrace the unfolding of the new opportunities or changes that come in with an open heart and mind, because oftentimes the universe will bring some tower moments or things that don't really line up with a goal that we have, so to speak. But what it's doing is it's opening up a space for you to access a new version and a new part of yourself. And if you're physically in a new location, you're going to have access to new communities and new workspaces and, new pools of people to meet. And it just completely shifts the energy in a way that you couldn't have really put it together in a puzzle piece yourself, but it will be for your greater growth. Okay. I'm trying to get this all out. There's so much goodness here. Number 3, emotional waters and emotions in general, they are here. And I think they've kind of been here all year, guys, right? But this phase represents an emotional moment, sort of like standing in the rain. Imagine feeling the downpour soak you to the core. It's like a cleansing process where it's refreshing and purifying as it washes away like lingering residue in parts of yourself that both require attention and then also that you need to just release and to cry and to let go. And as these emotional waters are activated within you, you may experience feelings of like forlorn or loneliness, but recognize that this space is absolutely pivotal for our healing. And we have to sort of sit with ourselves and to navigate through this period. It's really vital to embrace it rather than to resist it, because our feelings need to be respected and felt and digested. So take time to rest and nurture yourself, seeking any bit of time in nature as it's such an embrace. Try to simplify your surroundings and even some of your routines. I'm getting this idea of returning to the basics of your self-care and mindfulness will be really important this month. And with each step, cradle yourself with a little more compassion and tenderness, recognizing the preciousness of your being, the very core and essence of who you are. Because the process of emotional healing does require patience and a whole lot of self-love, but trust that it will lead you to the other side where so much more light and new beginnings and more healing awaits. Moving to number 4, the headline here was community equals medicine. So in this moment, I had this visual of you or all of us surrounded by a warm campfire, sharing laughter and connection with friends and loved ones, sort of on a dark night, but a beautiful sort of warm evening where you could see the stars, and it was a very balmy, wonderful, warm atmosphere that came over me. This sense of community is pretty powerful medicine for your soul, and offering this bit of solace and support in times of need. And as you bask in this lighthearted energy, you may feel called to seek out, as I mentioned, a new group of like-minded individuals or people that resonate with who you've become, especially in the recent months. So it's a great time to sort of be open to a tribe that truly sees and understands you, where you can be emotionally vulnerable without any fear of judgment. So allow yourself to explore new connections and foster deep bonds with those who are existing in your journey and support you. But together you'll create a sacred space of more of this acceptance and understanding where you can freely be who you are. And you'll feel the power of authentic connection. And I think here, guys, it's also important to mention that the way that we feel these authentic feelings when we're in community is how our body is receiving the energy. When you leave some sort of social event, or maybe it's a gathering or a dinner, how do you feel? Do you feel depleted? Do you feel really rejuvenated? Become aware of how your body is responding to the different frequencies of people and places. I know for me, I'm hoping to join a hiking group soon, and just to be in nature with other people, and also because I love plants and nature in general. And I have a feeling other people would love to dork out as well and talk about the names of trees that we're walking past. That seems like a healthy way for me to sort of marry some of my interests with ways that are aligned with who I am. Like, that really does light me up. Okay. Number 5, This is a really great one. Breathing in new life. And the visual that came across of this like newness was, imagine yourself sticking your head out of the car window, like with the window rolled down, and feeling the fresh air against your face as the wind blows through your hair, and there's sunshine, and there's like the scent of fresh flowers, and you take a deep exhale, releasing any tension or worries that are sort of like dragging you down in that moment. And it made me feel like this embracing the opportunity for new experiences and the ability to go into the unknown with a sense of adventure and lightness. So, laughter becomes your medicine as you fully immerse yourself into the very present moment, which we talk about a lot. But this is almost like a very special way to breathe in the new of being in the present, because while we all carry burdens and face our challenges in life, I mean, there's no way to avoid that because we're humans and it's part of our path. We're going to have moments of suffering, but now is the time to shed the worry hat and sort of allow yourself to experience the joys of life. And it's almost like you're kind of going down this new eat, pray, love moment where you can just have this renewed sense of freedom to explore and discover, and even putting on an outfit that you haven't worn for years, that you may have purchased in another country, or reminds you of a time where you were in a different place. Little choices like that can make a big difference to sort of transport us to the place that we aspire to be in our higher self. So also in that light, travel may be on the horizon in April for you, offering the chance to sort of go somewhere. I'm feeling like it might be somewhere a little bit further, but where you can immerse yourself in new cultures for a period of time and sort of feed that sense of wanderlust and curiosity as you step into this new phase of you and your life and sort of what you're creating. I think it's also comes with that newfound confidence that we talked about, putting your stake in the ground at the very beginning, which is trusting that you're right where you're meant to be in your journey. And when you trust yourself and you really foster the best version of yourself by being yourself every day, it brings you to these experiences that are sometimes out of the blue. So I don't know, maybe this travel is tied to a friend that has a work trip and just invites you on a whim. I don't get the feeling that you've been planning this for a long time. I feel like it's a little bit more impromptu, but makes sense. Maybe you're available, or you have vacation time that you can take and someone's just naturally going or invites you to go on a retreat somewhere. I think you get the gist, but that's also really relishing in the serendipitous moments of life, which I always think is such a blessing. Okay, final message, guys. I had a visual of a figure cooking and sort of measuring flour. Actually, maybe more like baking, but really meticulously measuring different amounts. And for me, it felt like this was measuring the intentions in all of your life. So as you measure the ingredients while you might be baking, you are then carrying that diligence and precision into all aspects of your life. And it obviously extends well beyond to the energy that you offer others and yourself, as well as, the choices that you make regarding your health and well-being. So you may find yourself limiting certain food groups that don't align with your gut microbiome, or reducing or just sort of trying to, minimize interactions with individuals who no longer feel like they're serving in a purpose or you're not aligned with. this process of elimination, if you will, allows you to create a more harmonious balance between like your physical mind and body, recognizing that the sacred temple that we have in this life is your physical vessel. It's so important. And as you become more attuned to the signals that your body sends, and I talked about this a little bit ago, you may seek guidance, even from holistic practitioners, like such as a naturopath, or maybe try acupuncture, or even like a registered dietitian. But by taking proactive steps to prioritize your physical health, you're elevating your overall well-being and your mind and stepping into a more overall like conscious way of living. So congratulations on this empowerment, and welcome to the Mindful Living crew. It just feels like you are leveling up. And, I remember when I did my yoga teacher training, we were in Bali, Indonesia, and we only did plant-based food for 32 days while I was there. And that was really cool because I'd never tried that before. And after I got back to the United States, I continued with it, and I was a vegan for 4 years until it no longer felt aligned with my body anymore. And I still like primarily plant-based foods and less animal products, but as we have to sort of experiment with our own body and see how we feel. And I encourage like all of you to extend such grace and kindness to yourselves as you forge ahead in April, because also it's a time where people are sort of outside more. There's more hours of light, so you may be able to squeeze in more exercise and activities. And in general, there's just more socializing that begins as the weather heats up. So try to remind yourself like moderation. And I also get this message of balance. If you know that, only sleeping a couple hours of night is going to throw you off for a couple days, maybe just make the conscious choice to leave the party a little earlier, so to speak, just all those things like add up over time. And, I hope that these messages resonated with you. Your presence here fills me with such joy and gratitude, you guys. If any insights or reflections arise for you, please feel free to share them in the comments below. And as we move through April, I'm just hoping that there's an abundance of blessings and opportunities that come your way. And remember to just be in each moment and feel through them as precious invitations to live authentically and wholeheartedly based on your specific heart, because you are unique. So here's to a month brimming with transformation and so much joy. Take good care, and all of my love to you.